So again, this is an introduction and course breakdown here of the Medical Lab Science course number 2000, MLS 2000, Biology for Health Sciences. And I will be your adjunct instructor for this course for the semester. Again, my name is Arif Fazel. Basically, what I'm going to be doing in this particular PowerPoint, in this particular presentation, is giving you a brief reintroduction of myself in case you didn't see the earlier video that's posted. And then I'll go ahead and give you guys an overview of what this course is going to consist of, what topics will we cover, and of course, how you will be evaluated. So who am I? Just again to reintroduce myself. My name is Arif Fazel. I'm a new hire as an adjunct instructor for the George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences in the Medical Lab Science program. Now, as an adjunct instructor, this basically means that this is a part-time position for me. So, full-time position, I hold a full-time position as an academic advisor in the School of Chemical Sciences at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, right in the heart of central Illinois. This is the main campus of the University of Illinois. So any sports fans out there, if you follow the NCAA sports and the Big Ten, we are the Fighting Illini. Um, my educational background, I earned my Bachelor's of Science um, with a degree in biology with a molecular concentration from the University of Tampa in the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida. And soon after that, I went in and got my master's degree in cell and molecular biology from the Florida State University. I recently graduated back in 2011, and then soon after was hired and began working for the University of Illinois. Uh, I want to add too, just real quickly, that during my first 2-3 years at the University of Illinois, I was actually an academic advisor for the School of Molecular and Cellular Biology, and again, just recently at the end of October, moved over to the School of Chemical Sciences as an academic advisor. And of course, where it all began. Well, I was born and raised in Fairfax, Virginia, actually. It's just outside of Washington, D.C. So I'm familiar with the area. And of course, had hopes and am still hoping to maybe return to the area at some point. But for now, again, I reside and will be teaching you all from Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. And just a few interesting facts about me. My interests outside of biology and teaching consists of technology. So I'm very big into social media for both personal and professional purposes. Sports of all kinds, football, soccer especially. Tennis is another sport that I love and played actually throughout my childhood and through high school. Was competitive there. And most recently, within the last few years, probably about the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 years, bodybuilding as well. I kind of have gotten into a fitness regiment myself since my years in Tampa, Florida, and have kind of maintained that. So if I'm not in the office and I'm not online, you'll usually find me in the gym somewhere. So again, just some fun facts about that. So again, Florida State University, obviously a big time program, both academically and athletically. Arsenal from London is my absolute favorite soccer club. So if there's any English Premier League fans out there, hopefully you guys like the same team. And like I said, another vested interest is bodybuilding. So that's a little bit about myself. So the course overview. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So what are we going to cover in this course? So again, this is an introductory level biology course. Um, uh, Various people in this class are going to have different backgrounds. Some of you may have had biology either as an undergrad or in high school, or maybe it's been a lot longer than that. But I think the level of that I'm going to be teaching at is going to hopefully help bring everyone on the same page and bring you all up to speed in order to be truly successful with the rest of this fantastic program here in the Medical Lab Sciences. So, this is kind of the brief overview again of the topics that we will cover. So we're going to start out real basic. We're going to describe the hierarchy of life from small organic molecules all the way through ecosystems. So we're going to talk about, brief overview of bio and chemistry type things, molecules, carbons, oxygen, nitrogens, that sort of thing coming together, creating cells creating tissue and making up an organ and then an organ system, all the way up into an organism, understanding the ecosystem a little bit, so there'll be some ecology type of things that we will touch on as well. What we'll also do is compare and contrast animals and plants in the context of how they obtain and use energy. So, plants make energy and utilize energy through the form of photosynthesis. Animals and humans, such as ourselves, we're using cellular respiration, deriving energy, making ATP as our energy source. So we'll go into great detail about those cycles and whatnot. Um, Explaining the process of cellular duplication. So cells recycle themselves, cells duplicate, multiply. As we speak, our skin cells are shedding and dying and being replenished. Cells within our muscles, within our bodies of various types, are constantly dying off in a process known as apoptosis, and then they're being replenished and going through cellular division. We're going to talk about that process in detail and how that all happens. We'll discuss the process of genetic rearrangement. Of course, right? Genes, DNA, basics we're going to talk about there. And then during reproduction, in particular amongst animals and humans, how we are able to create a variety within organisms. So, you know, when cells duplicate, for example, certain single cell organisms, they are cloning themselves. So their offspring are directly related and identical to the parent cell. But obviously, when humans reproduce and we have offspring, our offspring are not identical clones of us, but they are related to us because they share similar genes, but the genes have been rearranged. That's what we'll cover there. We're going to describe how genes relate to proteins. This is going to be key to any and all molecular biology you take between now and your futures. So this is basically what's known as the central dogma of molecular biology, right? So DNA goes to messenger RNA, which then ultimately gets translated into proteins. And it's proteins which are basically the expressed forms of your DNA, which make up who you are. Everything from your skin color, your hair color, the kind of hair you have, your eye color, you know, how muscular one can get through training and exercise. That's all based off of your genetics, and it all comes out and is expressed as proteins. So that's going to be an area that we will definitely have some interest and focus on. And personally, it's kind of my specialty in my area as well, in terms of the kind of work that I did as a graduate student and the courses I've previously taught. We'll also discuss the process of inheritance. So again, genes being passed on from one generation to another. We will then kind of wrap things up towards the end and explain the process of evolution, including the adaptations related to survival, reproduction, and intra and interspecific interactions. So again, understanding the concept of survival of the fittest. We'll look and touch on some of the things that Darwin brought to our attention. And then ultimately we'll provide examples of adaptation at both the cellular and whole body level. So again, this is an overview of the various topics that we're going to cover within this introductory level biology course. Okay, so how do you keep it all together? So everything is going to be based on and will be on Blackboard. So you should all hopefully be familiar with this program, or have been, trained on this program to an extent. But basically, this is an online, um, fully functional kind of virtual classroom, if you will. So Blackboard is where I'm going to be posting all the material for the course. So there will be videos, such as this one, which is going through the PowerPoint and be a voiceover. There will be, any weekly assignments I will post as well. So there could be, um, PDF or Word documents that you'll have to be able to gain access to and download and either print or upload through this program of Blackboard. All the PowerPoints, any additional videos, like I said, will all be posted. So make sure you have access to this, because also through Blackboard is where you will be able to send and receive emails. So again, due to our varying distances from each other, email is going to be crucial and a vital way for you all to stay in touch with me should you have any questions or concerns during and throughout the semester. I make a strong effort to keep in touch with students, and I'm always available through email. Um, you should expect a response from me anywhere from within 12 to 24 hours, if not sooner, depending on my availability and my schedule. I'll also make a plan to try to have at least, um, host virtual office hours where I will be present on Blackboard live, to hold and help anybody with discussions or run review sessions prior to exams, things like that. So again, make sure you are familiar with and have access to Blackboard. So the course structure. So again, the course is delivered fully online. You guys will never have to travel to come see me. We won't be meeting in person, in Washington, D.C., unfortunately. So everything's going to be done right here online. Again, there will be recorded PowerPoint lectures such as this one. You will have a weekly quiz and homework assignments as well. So you'll have a quiz, every week. I will probably have the quizzes on Thursday afternoons, and I'll close them sometime Friday morning. So you'll have a good amount of time to get them done. But basically, the quizzes will be based purely off the required reading from the textbook. So make sure you're reading and keeping up with the recommended readings and the chapters and the pages that I recommend that's on the syllabus. The quizzes will be open book, and again, I'll cover that in a moment. Ultimately, then, so along with weekly assignments, a weekly quiz, we'll also have three major exams. Exam 1 will cover weeks 1 through 4 material. Exam 2 will cover weeks 6 through 9. And then you'll have a final exam at the end of the semester, and it will be cumulative. So that means it will cover everything from day 1 up to the very last day. And again, you should definitely be keeping up with the readings, reviewing homework assignments when you get those back. All that material is going to be utilized when putting together these exams. So the textbook. So the one there in red, by Reese, is Campbell Biology, Concepts and Connections, 8th edition. This is the required textbook. This is where 99.9% of the material that you are going to be tested on is coming from. So again, all your quizzes are going to come from this book. All your major assignments, for the most part, the PowerPoint material certainly is going to be coming from a bulk of it from this book. Another book that if you have access to, again, it's not necessary, but if you do, fantastic, It's a book called Molecular Cell Biology, 6th edition by Lodish. This book is still used widely in various molecular and cellular biology courses. It is a book that I taught from for about 5 semesters back at Florida State. It's a fantastic resource. I will utilize some of it and provide you guys with the images and whatnot material that I use. So if you don't have access to this textbook, don't worry. Um, Again, I'm talking about the Lotus book. I will provide you online with PDFs or excerpts from the book. But I'll mainly be using maybe some of the images um, in the PowerPoints. So again, you'll have access to the material. And then you'll also get some YouTube action as well from me. So back in graduate school at Florida State, I actually created a YouTube channel called Arif After Hours, and this is the website there, youtube.com/user/af07e, and basically this is a series of review sessions that I put together for the class I was teaching back at Florida State. The videos are a little old, but the material is still relevant and current. And some of the topics we are going to cover. But what I am going to do is I will post specific videos from this channel to our Blackboard site that I want you guys to watch, and that will help reinforce a lot of the material that we're going to be learning and getting from the Campbell biology book. So again, supplemental material, but again, mainly make sure you have the Campbell biology book, because again, that's where mostly everything is coming from. Grading scale, obviously everyone is always concerned and wants to know about grades. So this is the breakdown. It's based off of percentage. We're looking obviously at 100% to be perfect. Assignments are going to be worth 20%. Weekly quizzes, another 20%. Your first 2 exams are going to be worth a total of 30%, so 15% each. And then again, a final exam, which will be cumulative, will be another whopping 30%. So again, total of 100%. And then this is the grade breakdown for the grading scale. Will there be adjustments? Will there be curves? I cannot tell you that right now, because again, we need to kind of see how things go with this first semester. Again, this is a brand new course that the program is bringing in. So I don't want to make any promises that I can't necessarily keep. But I think as of right now, the way this course is designed and the grading scale is fairly generous, and I think it's more than fair. So just be aware that as of right now, this is the breakdown, and this is how grades are going to be determined at the end of the semester. And again, assignments again will be every week. You'll have an assignment. Assignments will typically be open throughout the week, and you'll have usually up until Sunday, right before midnight, to turn those in. Again, they'll consist of a couple of questions pertaining to lectures, notes, and readings. So make sure again you're keeping up with the textbook reading. You have access and you're watching and reviewing the PowerPoints. Typically there'll be a worksheet. It might have a small chart of data that I want you to be able to interpret and explain to me. Or it could be as simple as a crossword puzzle, which will help to reinforce key concepts and vocabulary. Quizzes. So again, you'll also have a weekly quiz. I will determine which day and time that I'll have this, but you'll have a weekly quiz. I will most likely have that available maybe Thursday and give you about 12 to 24 hours to complete that. But it'll consist of true, false, multiple choice, some real short answer type questions. It will be open book, so you can use your book, your textbook. It is going to be timed, however, so you'll have at most 20 minutes. And again, the quizzes are going to come straight from the textbook. Now, some people might think, well, if it's open book, then it should be a breeze. Yes and no, because if you've done your reading ahead of time, hopefully A, you've retained the information and you won't need to rely on the book, or B, you did the reading, the quiz is open book, you'll know how to find the answers more quickly and efficiently. But either way, I want you to make use of their and be prepared for these quizzes because again, they are going to be timed as well. Exams, again, lastly, you'll have the first two exams, exams 1 and 2, will be 50 questions. The material will come from lectures, PowerPoint, any supplemental material that I provide. So if I provide you with a a handout or a PDF of a journal article or something from another textbook, that is free game, for adding to the test. Obviously, textbook material for sure is going to be on the test. The format will be true false, matching, multiple choice, and fill in the blank. And then, like I mentioned before, then you'll have a final third exam. It will be cumulative, covering the entire semester's worth of material. It will be 100 questions, and again, be the same format: true, false, matching, multiple choice, and fill in the blank. Okay, so that is again a brief introduction of myself again and what we're going to be talking about and covering with this course. So again, I hope that you all are excited and ready for this adventure. I know I certainly am. Again, it's going to be a journey for both of us, and I promise not to make it too bumpy of a ride, but hopefully it's going to be challenging enough that you all are putting in effort, you're learning a lot, and at the same time, we are, striving to help improve your knowledge conceptually and getting you guys ready to become the true proper professions in the medical lab sciences. So again, thanks very much and expect to hear plenty more from me.